Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies and Man once again, and today we're going to be doing our haul video, and I'm actually going to do this in parts. So right now I'm going to record one section of it, and then I'm going to record another one later, and then another one later, because I'm not exactly sure I'm done with my haul for the month, because right now it's the 24th, but I do know I'm done with this part of the haul. So I'll record this bit and I'll try to wear the same shirt and everything, so that it looks like one cohesive video, but it won't be. Just be aware of that because the angles and stuff are going to be different at some point. So we have 3 sections to this haul video today. I didn't buy any Legos, but I did start collecting figures this month, and that is the first section of the haul video. Then we'll do novels. Then we'll do comic books, then we'll do manga at the end. So feel free to watch this section and then move on to the manga section if you don't care about novels and comics, or watch the whole video, or don't watch it at all. It's fine. Just watch whatever sections of the video you like. So yeah, let's start with the figures. I bought 5 different figures. 4 of them have boxes. One of them I bought used from Mercari, and the seller did not have a box for it. So I'll show them to you chronologically based on what I bought first. And first I bought a pair of figures from Crunchyroll. At the end of August, they were having a blowout sale of some sorts. And I was I wasn't aware of it until I saw either Will or Midnight Roboto, or one of the manga restock guys on Twitter mention it. I think it was Will. And they mentioned that, this sale was going on, and I went in there. I wasn't really going to buy anything, but then I saw that they had some One Piece figures. And they had 2 I wanted, and they ran out of a few others that I wanted that I wasn't able to get because they had already been sold out by the time I wanted them. And it's very unlikely they'll ever restock, so I'm probably going to end up getting that other figure that I wanted from a different website at a later date. So let me show you the 2 that I got, and I'm only going to show you the boxes. I've already unpacked the figures and they're already in a place that I like, so I won't go and grab them. But on my Twitter I have pictures of them, so feel free to go on my Twitter if you are interested in seeing them in the shelf or whatever. So the first one I got was the One Piece Glitter and Glamour's Nami figure. This is version A, so it's the standard coloring, I think. And it's a very nice figure. It's about 10 inches tall, 25 centimeters. I think that's actually more like 9. I'm not sure. It's around 9 to 10 inches tall. And it's not exactly as good as it looks here, but it is pretty darn good. I'm looking at it right now. It's like across from me. And it is more or less exactly what you're expecting here. And like I said, it is version A because it has the standard coloring. It doesn't have the secondary lighter faded coloring that this one has. And yeah, it's a really good figure. I really liked it. I got it for $10 plus $2 shipping, because shipping was $5 divided by 2 figures. So it was $12. And that seemed like a great price for figures. Usually I don't buy any figures, and I've been trying to not buy any figures because they're expensive. The cheapest ones are around the $30 range because I don't really like Funko Pops. And when I saw that this sale was happening, well, I took advantage of it because it was very unlikely I would ever get figures otherwise. So I bought that, and then I bought this Boa Hancock Lady Fight figure. This one is significantly smaller. It's about 8 inches tall, whatever that is in centimeters. I think it's like 20 centimeters. And it's really good, actually. I like this one a little bit more than the other one. I think the styling of it, the paint application, looks a little bit more like dynamic and stuff, and I'm not sure if that's because like the clothing lends itself better to more interesting painting techniques, or if it's just because it's a better figure. I'm not sure. The Glitter and Glamour one seemed to be a pretty standard like pop parade style type of figure, and this one seems to be a little bit different, but it is in the same price range. So I don't know. I like this one, and for the future, I think I'm probably going to stick to the Glitter and Glamour versions figures, because I do want to get a full set of all of the One Piece girls that I like, which would be Boa Hancock, Nami, Robin, of course, which is the one I didn't get to buy from Crunchyroll, that I'm going to try to buy from Big Bad Toy Store. And I would like to get a Carrot one as well, maybe Yamato. And other than that, I want Vivi, but I think the Vivi Glitter and Glamours figure is super out of stock, out of print, or whatever it's called for figures. So I'm probably gonna have to buy that one secondhand from somewhere. So yeah, I definitely want to get like the 4 One Piece girls that I like in Glitter and Glamours at least. If I can't, I'll probably move on to the Lady Fight ones or the DXF Wano collection. I'm not sure, but I also ended up getting some other figures, so I'll talk about those. So those 2 were the Crunchyroll ones. Then at my local movie trading company, and I say local, but it's a little bit farther away from anything that I usually travel to, but it is like not that far away from where I go buy groceries. So you know, I drive a little bit further from my grocery store, and then I go buy stuff there, and then I turn around and come back to groceries, and then I go home. So they were having a sale for Labor Day. They were having a 2-for-1 on all of their stuff, and specifically they were also having a slight discount on some of their display figures and figures that they had in overstock. So first I got this Rebecca Sweet Style kind of series of, the Sweet Style series, and I got the Rebecca as Soldier, which is really nice. This is like literally exactly the same as Glitter and Glamours, but the outfits are different from the standard. This one is the version A. It's the saturated one, where the version B is the less saturated one. And it's really good. This one was a display piece, so they gave me a little bit more of a discount on it, or actually maybe they charged me the same price, but the point is it was 2-for-1, so I still got this for about $12, which is exactly the same price as before, and I thought that was a very great price. So I picked this up because I had just finished reading Dressrosa at the beginning at Labor Day, because that was the arc that I had read in August. And well, I thought it looked cool, it looked nice, I like it a lot. It's about the same size as the Nami. Actually, it's exactly the same size, but the hat makes her a little bit taller. And the paint application on that one is also good. It looks really nice. There's nothing wrong with it. However, I do think that the different size and shape bases of all of these figures are kind of annoying, because, you know, technically Sweet Style is not the same as Glitter and Glamour, but it's exactly the same size with exactly the same type of producer and maker and all of this stuff, right? So I would hope that their bases would be the same, so it doesn't look weird, because like on the shelf, you notice that it's different, and it kind of annoys me a little bit, but I think that's just me having to get used to the fact that figures are not going to be, you know, easily compatible that way, and it's just what it is. It's mostly about the size being the same, and at least in that case, it works out well for me. So yeah, I also saw that they didn't really have anything else that was interesting until I saw this Goku Dragon Ball Super, right? Yeah, Dragon Ball Super figure. It's really nice looking, and they had this one. They didn't have the other version, which is the one I actually was more interested in, which is this Vegito version. But these are kind of like a set. So you buy the version 1 and the version 2, and you display them together. But I only had the version 1 available. So yeah, there was also some Saint Seiya figures, but they weren't the interesting like figures. They were just like the really lame ones, and so I didn't buy it, even though I'm a big Saint Seiya fan, because I didn't really like any of the characters that they had, and I also didn't like that it was like when they're not wearing their armor, and I think that is like boring, right? Why would I care about the Saint Seiya characters without their armor if that's like the big part of them, right? So yeah, that's why I didn't buy that. But I do regret not buying more of these, because I think these are really great gifts for some of my friends, and I feel like I should have bought more at that time, so I should have been able to give some out. But I mean, it is what it is. It's whatever. They'll have another sale eventually, and I'll be able to buy some more figures from them. But overall, good stuff. I actually really like this figure. I think the quality on it is really good. The pose is a little bit awkward, because there's no real good way to display it, where like if you're looking at it eye level, it doesn't look that great. But if I display it on a shelf that's a little bit higher than my eye level, specifically when I'm sitting down, it looks real nice, because he's looking down at you, and it looks very dynamic. But looking at it, you know, head on doesn't look really interesting because you mostly just see his shoulder and the front of his back. So I don't know, but this is a good figure too. I like it. It's a very hefty figure. It has a lot of weight to it, and it's very nice as well. I liked it. And then the last one I bought from Mercari, so I wasn't able to get a box for it, is this Reiju figure. I think the line of this was One Piece Treasure Cruise World Journey. There's a matching Sanji figure that's also in this Three Musketeers type styling, and it's good. I like it. The one thing I don't like is this the way that these legs are set up, because well, they don't stand correctly. So you eventually manage to balance it, right? But it doesn't balance with like the legs spread out the right amount, and it's kind of annoying. But also, once it settles in correctly, it doesn't really matter. I'm guessing that over time with weight, it's going to spread out and kind of become like the right width, because I don't know if you guys can see it, but this heel is a little bit lower on the ground than this side of the figure, and so the figure kind of wants to lean backwards, and that's what this base is for, to avoid that. But if this leg was just bent a little bit, it would work better. But it is what it is. It looks really nice, and this is about 8 inches tall, so it almost it fits right next to my Boa figure, which then goes into my Nami figure, which then goes into the Rebecca figure. So it's like an ascending height level, and I think it looks really well, or really good, and I set it up well that way, because if I had set it up like in a different way, it wouldn't look very good, in my opinion. But this figure is great. I really like it. It's really well done, and it's also the person that owned it before took very good care of it. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything looks good. All of the paint applications are good, and I think this is probably one of the better faces on all of the figures that I have, besides Rebecca. The other ones are like not exactly wrong, but they don't exactly catch the correct feel of Nami and Boa, but everything else about them is perfect. So yeah, so I got 5 figures, and I took way longer than I needed to explain it to you guys, but it is what it is. Next is the comic books. Oh, sorry, actually, this is part 2 of the haul video. In the first part, I did the figures. Now let's look at the novels. I have 1 digital novel, so that would be Jacob Tanner's Second Chance Swordman, I think is the name of the book. I'll put it up here in case you guys want to see what it looks like. And he sent it to me so I could do a review for it. I haven't read it yet, so I'll do a review for it next month in October. So yeah, other than that, my buddy C.A. McDivitt sent me book 2 in his series. I brought Our World's Magic to This Other World. It's kind of a Dr. Stone-esque kind of situation, and I like the first one. I did a review for it. Here is number 2, and hopefully I like this one as well. So yeah, other than that, I also bought 1 more novel. I bought this a few days ago. It's a Christopher Paolini novel, so if you liked Aragon, you might want to check this out. It's an adult novel. It's To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. It's a science fiction novel. Let's see, it says here, it's a brand new epic novel from the author of Aragon. And then it says, Kira Navarez dreamed of a life on new worlds. Now she's awakened a nightmare. So, I don't know, it sounds interesting. During a routine survey mission on an uncolonized planet, Kira finds an alien relic. At first, she's delighted, but elation turns to terror when the ancient dust around her begins to move. As war erupts among the stars, very Star Wars-esque, I like that, Kira is launched into a galaxy-spanning odyssey of discovery and transformation. First contact isn't at all what she imagined, and events push her to the very limits of what it means to be human. While Kira faces her own horrors, Earth and its colonies stand upon the brink of annihilation. Now Kira might be humanity's greatest and final hope. So it seems to be some sort of Leviathan Wakes-esque type of story. Leviathan Wakes is part of The Expanse. So if you like The Expanse TV show, you might end up liking this. I don't know. I literally just picked this up because of Paolini's name. His Aragon series was one I had a very interesting relationship with. I really liked the first book. I couldn't ever bring myself to finish the second book when I was in 6th grade. Eventually, I came back to the story when Inheritance came out, the last book in the series. And then I decided that I love them, and I really enjoyed reading it. It was a big ass derivative pastiche of all of the great fantasy epics. It had Lord of the Rings in it, it had Wheel of Time in it, it had Star Wars in it. But it didn't matter. It made me interested in science fiction and fantasy. It made me love dragons, and I really like that series, even if it's pretty basic for fantasy. But it was also really interesting because a teenager had written it. So at the time, I was really into it. And this book came out about a year or two ago. And it seems like the paperback has finally come out, which is this one. And so it was at my local Walmart, and I decided to pick it up because it was like $8. So yeah, hopefully I like this. I don't know when I'll get around to reading it, but I hope soon. But this is a big ass chonker. It's 190 pages. But I think the story is only it's 1,090 pages. But I think the story only goes up to 1,050, I think, because everything else is appendices and, old school fantasy fare, where it just gives you a bunch of terminology at the end of the book so you know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, so that's it for the novels. Let's look at the comic books, and then we'll look at the manga. So in terms of comic books, I have a bunch of digital titles that I picked up. So I got Harley Black, Red, and White, and I don't really care too much about Harley as a character specifically. I mean, I really like the Harleen book that DC Black Label published, but Harley Quinn as a character herself isn't really all that interesting to me. But I picked up Harley Black and Red and White because, one, it was on sale because there's a Harley Quinn sale for the 30th anniversary of the character, but also because Mir Gandolfo wrote a story for it, and Steven Spinek, whatever the guy that did Harleen, also wrote a story for it. So it was like $3, and I got like 16 different stories for Harley Quinn. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was an interesting book to give it a go, so I picked it up. Then I bought Heathens, a complete series by Vault. This is supposed to be some sort of Viking saga-esque type of series. It has 3 volumes in it, and the art style is really weird, but it's an interesting sounding story, so I definitely want to check it out. Then I got Dark One, which is a Brandon Sanderson comic book. It's not related to the Cosmere at all, but it is by Brandon Sanderson, and it's published by Vault as well, so I definitely wanted to give it a go, show support to Vault, show support to Brandon Sanderson, and read something that I'm probably going to really enjoy. Then I picked up another Vault title, which is Devil's Red Bride. This is a Lady Snowblood, Lone Wolf and Cub style story. It's a comic book, but it is based in Japan or something like Japan. So that's interesting. Then there was a Conan sale, so I bought The Life and Death of Conan, volumes 1 and 2. This is from the most recent Marvel run of Conan, so that's interesting. I do eventually want to get the Cimmerian comics from Ablaze. Those are also Conan comics, and I really like Bella and Valeria, which are our Conan characters, so I definitely want to pick those up from Ablaze later on, but right now I bought some Marvel stuff. So I also bought Age of Conan Valeria. If you guys have been following my channel for the last 2 years or so, you'll know that Valeria, the first issue of Age of Conan Valeria, is actually one of the earliest single-issue comic books that I bought on the channel. It's not the first one I ever got, but it is one of the earliest that I got for the channel, and that I also got right before I got into comic books, right before I settled in here at this apartment and started going to my local comic book shop. And then I got Barbarella 1 through 10. These are by Dynamite, and Barbarella is a French comic character that eventually became relevant here in the Americas because she's a hot, buxom blonde lady that goes into space and does things in space. So yeah, I got issues 1 through 10 because there was a Dynamite sale, and each book was 99 cents. It was digital only, but 99 cents for per chapter is not that bad. So it was about $10 for 10 comic books. It's more or less a quarter of what I would spend if I bought the physical editions of Barbarella. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good deal. Other than that, I bought a bunch of physical comic books. So a lot of these I will talk about tomorrow in my wrap-up video, so I'm not going to spend too long on them. But first of all, we start with East of West, Volume 1. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I'm really interested in it. However, I don't really like the art style all that much. So I'm not too sure. If I end up not liking this, I'll probably get rid of it very quickly because I don't really want to keep stuff that isn't really appealing to me at this moment. So that's the only collected edition. Everything else I bought was a bunch of single comics. And like I said, I'm not going to really talk about them too much because I will talk about them tomorrow in my wrap-up video. So first of all, Gun Honey issue 1. This is part 2 of the story. And then we have Rogue Sun number 5, which was the one I was missing. I got Rogue Sun number 6 last month. Ablaze's Bella and Valeria number 4. I love this cover. I think it's really, really good. Then we have Red Sonja number 12. This is the last in Mirka Andolfo's Red Sonja. There's a new Red Sonja series picking up here soon that I'm also going to get. And I do have to make a review for Red Sonja here soon. I'm missing 2 issues, but I think I'll just buy those online and track them down physically later. Then we have Dark Knights of Steel, Tale of Three Kingdoms. This is a short story collection that kind of fleshes out the Tom Taylor's world. And then we have Moon Knight 15. Not too much to say about that one. Sweet Paprika 12. This is the end of the series, and it was a pretty good ending. I was pretty satisfied with it. Then we have Dead Lucky number 2. Continues to expand the Massiveverse a lot. There's also another Massiveverse story that's only available in the Image Anthology series that they are publishing lately. I saw some of them at my local comic book shop today, but I decided not to get them because I don't want to have to track down the other 2 that are missing in order to have a complete story. So I might, find it online somewhere, but I'm not too sure. Starhenge number 3. I dropped this. I don't like what is happening in this story. There's 2 different stories. I'm only interested in half of the story, in one of them, so only half of the arc that is being told. And the art style is really good, but it's like not worth the story. So, like, the story is not worthy of the amazing artwork. So I'm just gonna drop it. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna get rid of this. And hopefully someone else picks it up from me because I don't want to drop it off at Half Price Books and get pennies per issue. So yeah, then a new story here. The least we can do. This is a really good one. I actually really liked it. It's a magical kind of situation. This girl is from high society and she goes into low society to try to find people that will do the same thing she wants, which is use these powerful magic stones to help everyone and not just help the high-class people like everyone else that she knows does. Death Dealer number 5. I'm missing number 4, but my local comic book shop ordered it for me. Digitaur's Fairy Tales. This one was pretty good. Vampirella. This one was bad. I didn't like it. I think Vampirella is just not a character that I'm going to like because of the way that Dynamite kind of uses her is just not very appealing to me. This is Red Sonja Fairy Tales. This one was okay. It's the second best. The Digitaur's one was the best one for sure. Vanish is a new series by the guys that worked on King in Black, the Venom storyline, which are Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, and this is really good. I liked it. It kind of has like a main character if Harry Potter ended up being like a deadbeat, which I think that's what happens in the that play that they have, but it's not very good. But this is handled much better, and it kind of turns into some type of superhero story as the story goes on, and I'm really excited to continue it. And then we have Barbaric number 2. This is from the 2nd volume. Really good stuff. The only complaint is that I think that Soren is being pushed to the sidelines to have Owen's brother take the reins for this issue, or for this part of the story, and I really wish that she was more important. Titans United Bloat Pack. This is the second Titans United story, and I like it, and I also like that it's not really in continuity, so I can enjoy it without having to deal with the fact that I don't understand any of the stuff that's happening around these characters, and I think that's good. Marvel doesn't really do that very often, so I don't really pick up any Marvel stuff, but yeah. And the last one that I picked up this month was Sheena, the Queen of the Jungle number 9. This is the penultimate issue, and it's getting good, and I'm really happy with it. I hope the ending is good and interesting, and yeah. So that's it for the comic books. Then let's look at the manga. I didn't buy too much manga this month, but I did buy some. I didn't buy any digital manga this month, but it is what it is. I think I did a good job with what I bought. So I don't remember exactly if this is in chronological order or not, so it doesn't matter. First, I got Deathpool Samurai number 2. I finished reading it. I reviewed it, and I didn't like it, so this is going to my unhaul pile, and I'm going to get rid of it for the Q3 unhaul video that comes out in a few days. Then Kakagurui Volume 1. I bought this the same day that I bought East of West, or West of East, whatever it's called, that comic book that I showed earlier, because I bought those from Movie Trading Company, and they were having a sale. I bought those two, and I bought 2 figures that are the ones that I mentioned in the earlier part of the video. And this was the only used manga that they had, so I picked it up. It's in pretty good condition, and I hope I like it. And then I got Vinland Saga 10. My buddy, my roommate Chris got it for me. He went to a comic book shop and they had these, and he asked me if I wanted one, and I said yes. So here we are. I have one more that I need to pick up to be caught up with the series. I'm very excited about that. Then I got Chained Soldiers, which is one that I was wanting to get for a while, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very excited to get into reading this. But there's something about Yen Press that I don't really like. Like, these volumes don't feel the same way that the other Viz and Kodansha volumes feel. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I just know it's different. And it's kind of odd. I don't know. Then I got Gunbird Sisters number 2. I'm really excited about this. There's 2 more in the series, and then it'll be finished. And then Vinland Saga number 11. So I can finally do a review for the 3rd arc in the series, the Westward Exploration arc, or whatever it's called. You know, when they they go to Greece and then they come back and they're gonna start going to Vinland, which will be pretty interesting. I'm quite happy about that. And then the last thing I bought this month was Solo Leveling number 5. I bought this from my local Walmart. I didn't actually expect it to be there as fast as it was, but basically it came out and immediately went to Walmart instead of like the usual month or 2 of waiting. And I wasn't expecting it. I saw it at the corner of my eye while I was browsing something else. And I immediately turned back around, ran over to it, picked it up, and then tossed it in my cart because I'm very excited about this. However, the thing is that apparently the next book of Solo Leveling isn't going to come out for like 6 months. And I think that's kind of crazy. That's so much time. I don't know. I think that's kind of wild. So it is what it is. But number 5 of Solo Leveling, you can now buy the box sets from Barnes & Noble. I don't really see the point. They literally cost the same. And I think there really isn't any gift given in the box sets. So I don't see the worth of it. But yeah, that's it for my haul video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.